rebuilding today. As director of football, we are rebuilding the worst team in the Premier League, and one of the worst teams really in Prem history. In Sheffield United, they look set to be relegated. They've been labelled as one of the worst teams the Premier League has seen. Things are not looking good, but my aim is I have been appointed as director of football. I'm here to sort out their mess and rebuild them. I am aiming to make Sheffield United become an established Premier League side. I want to massively improve the squad because, quite frankly, this squad is a shambles and nowhere near good enough for the Premier League. And I want to make sure that the finances are secure because Sheffield United do have a bit of financial trouble. So I'm going to do all of this within a budget. Now, as I said, I am director of football. I am not going to be managing the side. Instead, I will be the one appointing the managers and buying the players, while the manager does all the tactics and buys the players. Now, who am I getting as manager? Chris Wilder. For me, you're not good enough to keep us in the Prem. So for me, I want a long-term manager. I want someone who has potential to potentially grow into a Prem manager. They may not be there yet, but I think they could. They've had a decent season this year given injuries, and that is the young and promising Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is appointed the new Sheffield United manager, and I'm hoping he can be the man to lead our rebuild. So this is what the squad is looking like. As I said, this squad is nowhere near good enough, in my opinion, to stay up. We have a lot of Asian players as well. I want to massively improve this squad, get some players really for the long term. Obviously, I want to try and keep this team competitive and keep us up this season, but I am realistic and relegation is potentially on the cards given that we don't have much money. So really in this first season and first window, I'm just going to try and really clear out this squad and get some players who are going to be here for the future of the club. So that is exactly what we went ahead and did in the first transfer window. It was an absolute fire sale. Max Lowe was the first one to go to Tafe. John Egan, great servant of the club, but not going to be here for the long term. Daniel Jefferson, good youngster, but not going to grow. Chris Basham, like Egan, great servant. Time is up. Jack Robinson, gone as well. The Rangers, Ben Osborne, gone. We didn't get huge fees, but to be fair, all of these fees sort of accumulated. Wes Foderingham was gone. George Bulldog was gone. It was an absolute fire sale. Ryan Brewster, gone. Ollie McBurney, gone. I absolutely gutted this squad. Rice Norrington Davis, gone. Ollie Norwood was also sold as well. So of course we needed to go ahead and get some actual players in. So firstly, as I said, for finances we don't have too much, so we went and got a new left back in Jesus Gallardo, who was a free agent. We then utilised the free agent market to get a left mid in Akram Afif, who is a Qatari international. Did very well at the recent Asian Cup. We then got another free agent in Israel Reyes, a centre-back, a Mexican just like Jesus Gallardo, who has come in. We then actually spent a bit of money, but I think it's a good investment. We got a right-back in Milan Van Ujic, 14.5 million from Coventry. He's got good potential and is also, I think, Premier League quality right now. We went back to Coventry and got an attacking midfielder in Callum O'Hara. Again, someone who I think could potentially grow into a really good player and give us some quality now. And we needed a striker. Our starting striker is now Thiago Thomas from Wolfsburg. A very, very young, bit raw striker, but I have faith that over the course of his rebuild he will be a good player. So this is what the team is looking like ahead of our first season. As I said before, I don't know if we can stay up this year. That's the aim, to try and avoid relegation in the first season. But I understand that this is a young squad. It's maybe not the best, but I think it has a lot of potential to grow, and I hope start off with the Carabao Cup, and unfortunately we were knocked out. Well, we actually beat Chelsea in round 2, which was pretty impressive, but we did get knocked out in the round afterwards, in round 3 to Southampton, which was not ideal, but we really don't care about the domestic cups in this rebuild. We're primarily focusing on the Premier League. So how are we doing in the Prem? And you know what, it's not too bad. We are in 19th place. So yes, we are in the relegation zone, but we are competitive. It's very tight down there. We're only 2 points away from safety. So I mean, we've already got more points than Sheffield have in real life, which is crazy. But yeah, we're pretty competitive. So that's all I really ask for. In terms of a goal scoring chart, Ben Brereton Diaz is doing pretty well. Thiago Thomas not doing the best. Goals is a little bit of an issue, but I expect this is a young striker playing in the Prem for the first time. I think the team's doing pretty well. We don't have much money to spend to really improve it. I'm just hoping that they can keep this up and hopefully stay up. Staying up is a real possibility right now. We are staying in the fight, and that's really what I was after. So let's simulate to the end of the season then and see, can we stay up? Okay, so we are in summer now. It's the end of the first season in charge. Let's take a look at if we stayed up and how we did. So firstly, we will start with the FA Cup, where again, like the Carabao Cup, it doesn't really mean too much for us. We were knocked out in round 3 to Wolves, but we don't really care about this. It's just a nice bonus. The main one though, did we manage to stay up in our first season at Sheffield? Did we do the unthinkable under Michael Carrick? No, we did not. It was so close. So just 1 point separated us from Bournemouth. We are 1 point away from staying up. We finished in 18th place. And you know what? Even though we got relegated and it was that close, I'm obviously heartbroken. But I'm pretty happy that we, ran it that close, considering we got a young manager, we got a young team. And I don't think the team was necessarily Premier League quality right now. Thiago Thomas had a much better second half of the season, as did acronym who really came to life. So very happy with that. But yeah, disappointment in the first season. We were unable to avoid the drop, unfortunately, getting relegated. But look, it's all on the journey. We still can establish ourselves as a Prem side. We're going to be in the Championship next season, but this is a good opportunity for us to help rebuild the side, help some of these younger players develop, and hopefully we will be back in the Prem soon. But let's get ahead then into the second season. Alright, so this is how the team's looking at the second season. You know what? I don't think it needs too much work. We did most of the work in the first season, but what we definitely need is to get depth, because we got rid of so many players. We need to get some depth, and we'll improve a couple of the starting areas as well. But that's really our main focus. I think this team is more than capable of getting straight back to the Prem, and that is definitely the aim in this first season. So in terms of the transfers then, we got rid of Anis Silmani. He was one of the remaining ones who we did not get rid of, but we brought in Shinta Appelkamp, a attacking midfielder from Dusseldorf, to play ahead of Callum O'Hara or compete with him. We'll see how that gets on, just for £9 million. We again utilised the free agent market. Thomas Uwajin, a backup left back, came into the side. Lucien Agume from Inter Milan, just for £4 million, a young central defensive midfielder, just as backup for our guys. We didn't have much cover for them. Kasper Kozlowski from Brighton for £4.9 million also came in, a backup winger, mainly a left mid, will help us in there. Of course, we are playing a lot more games now, so we need those backup. Loris Karius as well, the GOAT, came in as backup goalkeeper for us, and who knows, maybe even starting. Bakri Yatta utilising the free agent market with our limited funds, came in as a backup right mid, and hopefully can grab some goals from there. But that was really all we did. Just bulked up the depth of the squad to prepare us for the grueling championship season. This is how the team's looking. I think this team is more than capable of getting straight back to the Prem. That is the aim in this first season, or the second season. Michael Carrick is experienced in the championship as well, so I have full faith. Promotion is the aim, but let's see how we do. Alright, so we are in January then of our second season in charge. Let's take a little look at how our championship season is going so far. Alright, so we will start with the cups as always. Arsenal knocked us out in round 4. Again, don't really care too much about that. But as for the main one, the league, things are going alright. They're alright. We are in 3rd place, not too far away from the top. We are 5 points away from top, but only 3 points away from 2nd place. It's very tight, very competitive up at the top. We're in and around those automatic promotion spots, which is, around that area I wanted to be. Championships are very close, competitive league, so I'm pretty happy with this 3rd place right now. We are in well and truly the promotion mix. Looking at the player stats, interestingly, Cameron Archer has been starting a lot of games ahead of Thiago Thomas, and he has a fantastic record. Actually, Thiago Thomas has been starting the games, but Archer in a lot less games has a fantastic goals to game ratio, and those two have been splitting the minutes and splitting the goals very well. I've also just realised at this point that I completely forgot to mention a signing I made, which was Sakari Abugal, a right mid. In the first season, he didn't really do too much for us, but yeah, unfortunately I forgot to mention that him and acronym on the wings are doing okay, getting a few goals here and there, but yeah, we don't have much fun, so again, not going to tamper with the squad here. I think we have more than enough to get promotion here, and let's see, can we secure automatic promotions, or is it going to be playoffs for us? Alright, so we are at the end of the 2nd season now. It's a big one. Have we managed to get promoted back to the Premier League? Hopefully we have, otherwise this rebuild is not going to go very, very well. Anyway, FA Cup, we actually had a really, really big result. We had a Sheffield derby versus Wednesday we were drawn to, and we did in fact beat them at Hillsborough, so that was impressive. And we actually made the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, so we did pretty decent there. But how did we do in the league? Did we go up? Are Sheffield going back to the Premier League at the first time of asking? We are. We finished in 2nd place behind Crystal Palace, who, had an insane season, but it was quite comfortable actually. We finished with 97 points and 9 points clear of 3rd place, so what a fantastic second half of the season by the boys. They really rallied together, and we have secured promotion at the first attempt, so this rebuild is firmly back on track for us. Looking at the player stats, absolutely mental. So Sakari Abugal went on an absolute madness in the second half of the season. I think he scored like 6 goals in January, and he ended the season with 28. I don't know what on earth happened there, but Shinta Applegap also insane. Got double digits for goals and assists. Thiago Thomas bagged in goals. So those attackers really came to life. It looks like the team is really, really developing now, and it's exactly what I wanted to see. We've had this year in the championship, which has helped these younger players develop, grow as players, and they have grown exactly like that. So we are now back in the Premier League, and hopefully this time we are expecting to stay up. We've had experience in the Prem before now. We've just got promoted. The team is looking good, and hopefully in this 3rd season we can stay up. But let's get ahead and go into the 3rd season. Alright, so this is how the team is looking ahead of the 3rd season. I'm really most of his squad. Just want to add a couple bits here and there to improve it, make it properly Premier League quality, maybe in the midfield area. But I'm really, really hoping we can stay up. That is the expectation for this side. Now that we've had a year back in the Championship, I'm expecting us to hopefully stay up this year. So we sold Tom Davis, again one of the remaining ones who stayed, but we then used that money to get Tyler Adams, who came from recently relegated Bournemouth, had a relegation release clause of just 15 million, so we snapped him up to really, really improve that midfield area for us. However, unfortunately, we were preparing for the new season, scouting signings, etc. But the board wanted to go in a little bit of a different direction to what I wanted to do, and the alignment just wasn't really working anymore. Essentially, I wanted to continue with this method, which we're doing, but add a bit more experienced players, like Tyler Adams, for example, to make sure that we get that experience to stay up. The board, however, did not want this. They wanted me to sign younger players again, so we could sell them on for the profit, and their plan was also to sell players like Zakari Abou-Ghal. And I said, have you not learned from the Ilman and Dye situation? You know, we need to keep these players, but they refused. So unfortunately, we came to a decision to mutually terminate my contract as director of football of Sheffield United. I know, it sucks, but look, there was no alignment between us, and we couldn't work like this, so we have decided to part ways mutually. Michael Carrick has also left the job as well, because he was definitely my man, and he agreed with me in this. He did not want to be part of a team that was going to sell their best players and just sign youngsters. But do not worry, that does not mean this rebuild is over, because there is another Premier League team that is after me, and that is Luton Town. Luton Town are in need of a director of football. So, for the first time ever in a Footy Facts ASMR career mode, we are going to be changing clubs and continuing the rebuild, this time with Luton Town. So yeah, I have signed a new deal now. I am Luton Town manager. They are still in the Premier League, and my job is very simple: keep them in the league. That is the aim of this. Now, I need to get a manager, and as I said, Michael Carrick decided to leave Sheffield United with me because he did not agree with the new philosophy of the board. So it's only right. Michael wanted to link up one more time, so I said, come on over. The board agreed. So Michael Carrick has now joined us over from Sheffield. He has joined Luton Town, and Michael Carrick is now the Luton Town manager. And yeah, this is the team. Honestly, it's kind of like starting from this whole rebuild again, because this team for me is nowhere near Premier League quality. Like, it's almost worse than the one we inherited as Sheffield United manager. So we have a lot of work to do. We don't have too many finances. Now, we're not gonna do a long rebuild here. We're just gonna try and do one season here, but we are gonna try and keep Luton up. So in terms of the signings we made Ruben Vargas a free agent. We don't have much budget, so we had to use that financial tricks, if you like. Filip Benkovic, that free agent market came in clutch again. Another centre back through the door. Facundo Pellistri was released by Man United. We wanted to give him a chance, a similar start to Jong, so we brought him in. Hopefully he'll add some quality for us. Another free agent came through the door in Leo Dubois. Came in as our new right back. The Frenchman is going to be starting for us. We then raised some money by selling Alfie Doherty. Alfie Doherty is a good player, but £13 million is a lot of money for us. And to replace him again, we were quite smart here. We used that money to get Ola Aina on a free transfer. He'll be our new left back. And then we sold Elijah Adebayo for £5 million to Stuttgart, meaning we were getting a new striker, and we could spend a little bit of cash on them. We went and got Cameron Archer, because Cameron Archer did fantastic under Michael Carrick at Sheffield United, and we wanted to bring him in. He wanted him, so I said, Michael Carrick, I'll get him for you. Got another centre back in Amin Al-Dakhali, £5 million from recently relegated Burnley. Dedan Menji, similar start to Alfie Doherty, was sold for £12 million to Brighton. A good fee we couldn't turn down, but we need a new centre back due to this, so we spent £10 million on Diego Lete from Union Berlin, who is a really, really good, solid centre back for us. We then improved the midfield with Billy Gilmore coming in. The midfield definitely needed work. We needed 2 new DMs really. So Gilmore was the first one to come in, and then the second one was Joris Jotard from Liverpool for £13.8 million. Using that Doherty money we saved and had a bit of money, and then we made a big one. Recently relegated Bournemouth, Lewis Sinisterra had a release clause of £33.6 million. It was a lot of money for us, but we had a lot of money saved up through those player sales, and we needed that bit of X factor to keep us up. So we have gone for Sinisterra on the wings, and I'm hoping he will give us that X factor to keep us in the division. This is how the team is looking. Massively improved it. I'm hoping we can stay up this season. That's the aim of this year in charge of Luton, and ideally, hopefully we can finish above Sheffield to prove to them why they made a wrong decision and should have backed our strategy. But let's simulate to January and see how we get on. Alright, so we are in January now. Let's take a little look at how we are doing at Luton in our first season with them. So, firstly in the cups, round 2 exit to Leeds was not ideal, but like Sheffield, I don't care about the cup. We're focused on the league. So let's have a look at how we're doing. Yeah, not great, I won't lie to you. I expected a lot more than this. 1 win all season is really poor. 11 points. Our squad should not be this bad. Our squad is not this bad to be performing like this. Really poor. Really poor from us. I was expecting a bit more. We are still only 3 points away from safety, but what makes this worse is Sheffield are somehow 9th. Like, are you kidding me? How are they in 9th? But I guess that's kind of a win for us because, we brought in most of those players and most of that squad came through me. But anyway, looking at the player stats, it's clear to see why we are doing so bad. Goal scoring is an issue. Carlton Morris has scored more than Cameron Archer, which is a big issue. So we had some money saved up, and we decided to address this in the January window. Get a goal scorer, someone experienced to help keep us up because we are in a dire situation. So we got Albert Goodmanson from Genoa, £10 million, comes in, Icelandic striker who will hopefully add some goals to the side, which will be enough to keep us up in the division. So he comes in, and yeah, hopefully this team has enough in the second half of the season to turn this around and stay up, because it would be, I don't want to end this video with 2 relegations, but if results don't improve as well, Michael Carrick, potentially we might have to look at his job. But let's simulate to January and see how we're getting on. Alright, so we are in March now, and I've had to unfortunately make a strong decision as director of football. Results have not been good enough. They have not really improved since January. We won just 1 game since January, lost all of the others. We are now 5 points away from safety, and it's looking more and more likely now that we are going to get relegated. So unfortunately, look, I've really enjoyed working with Michael at Sheffield and at Luton, but the thing is, we're only really here for a season. We want to stay up. That's the aim, and I just think I need to get somebody in to turn this around. So unfortunately, Michael Carrick has been sacked as Luton manager, and I need someone experienced, someone who knows the league, someone who's going to come in, give us a new manager bounce, keep us tight at the back and just grind out some results. So we have appointed us and keep us up. I have faith he's very experienced. He's done this before with the likes of Cardiff, Sheffield United in the past as well. I really, really hope he can do it, but let's see. We've taken a massive gamble here. Can he do it? Let's simulate the end of the season and see how it goes. Right, so we are at the end of the season. It's a big one. So, in terms of FA Cup, we were knocked out by Man City. But how did we do in the league? Did Neil Warnock manage to do it? Did he manage to keep Luton up? Or are we getting 2 relegations in one video? He did it. He did it. Neil Warnock, the GOAT, has just about managed to turn things around and keep us in the division. An absolutely insane run of form has helped us stay clear of relegation by 2 points. Absolutely insane when you consider that at January we had just 1 win all season, and we ended the season from March to the end of the season with 7 wins. Huge shout out to Neil Warnock. Now, interestingly, Sheffield United finished in 10th place, so that's actually a mid-table established Premier League side, but we will get onto that. I'll take a little bit of credit for that, although not all of it, I guess. And even though Sheffield finished above us, we did get a little win over against them, because in order to stay up, we stayed up by 2 points, and well, we beat Sheffield United. Neil Warnock went to Sheffield away from home and beat them, which helped us stay up, so that was a nice win for us. Looking at the stats, Albert Goodmanson came in and had a pretty good impact, came in and scored a couple goals. Sinistera, Archer did a lot better under Neil Warnock than they did under Michael Carrick, and overall the team rallied together in the second half of the season fantastically to avoid relegation, which I'm very, very happy about. Our gamble on Neil Warnock paid off in the end, and in the end we managed to stay up. But look, that's the end of the rebuild. I mean, it was a wacky rebuild. We started at Sheffield, ended at Luton, but if we have a look back at the aims of a rebuild. Now, did Sheffield United become an established Premier League side? They did. They were mid-table by the end of this rebuild, but we played a part in that because we brought in most of those players. We really rebuilt that side and sort of laid the foundations of the team, but in the end we weren't there to actually guide them to that, so I have to give that a bit of a meh. We definitely improved that squad from the squad that we inherited, and we did all of that within a budget, utilising free agent market and stuff like that. But there we go. That is the Sheffield United rebuild.